Hey there paper geeks and glitter nerds, it's Zen and the Crazy Geek Crafter, and welcome back to another Folio video. At least I hope it's welcome back. If you haven't seen the first two parts, maybe you should go do that. We're going to jump right into making some waterfall elements here. I cut up 3 pages of A4 for these 6 pieces. If you remember, they are to accommodate pictures that are 12 by 9, and therefore they need to be at least 13 centimeters in each direction, because I am working with both landscape and portrait style pictures. So this is the waterfall for my, let's see, that's the road trip. Yes, for my road trip. And I actually won't need this many. I made too many. Miscalculated. Because you have to remember you can put pictures on both sides. So. Moving on, these are the photo corners I talked about last episode. I actually thought they were going to be in that one, but they're here. I cut a lot, and I actually almost used all of them. I did make an extra batch that I had off to the side just in case, but I didn't pull them all together because I wanted to know if I was going to use an entire sheet of 12 by 12 papers worth of photo corners or more. And it seemed that one was enough. I still might use a few here and there. This project is never really finished, but I'm getting it as close to finished as I can in these 6 videos. Like I mentioned last week, there'll be 2 videos together this week, and then next week will be the last 2 videos. I looked at a lot of photo corners online to try and figure out how I should design mine. I landed on this circle within a circle design. You can glue the outer circle to the paper or the inner circle. I prefer the inner circle so that less of the picture is obscured by the photo corner. And it doesn't even need to sit on the corner. I can use it on the side of the photo as well. The same with the other elements in the folio that I need to keep in here. I can use these on straight or on the corner side. I have been thinking overnight about how to close this, and I've decided to try a string method, wherein I will put a hole in, and you won't be able to see much of this because I am going to keep it like this, and I'm so sorry. I completely forgot about the camera. Well, I'm going to punch a hole in the top flap, and then I'm going to tie a string in it. Then I'll put a brad on the side and a brad in the middle flap, so that I can round the string around each of the brads, and that should keep my folder my map thingy where it's supposed to be. But first I have to glue down the brad on the side, and since I've already put down the pattern paper, I'm going to need something to glue it under. So I'm just going to use these big circles for that purpose. And I'm going to double up the circle that is going to be loose. I think. I saw this trick with putting your scissors around the brad so that there's more space underneath it, so you don't get it too tight, so there's room for the string underneath. This is a bit of a trial and error project. I get it to work in the end, but I'm not completely satisfied with how it turned out. Now that I'm all set with the brads, I need to find a string, a suitable string. And I dig through my stash and find one. This came to me as a gift from Lawn Fawn around an order I made. So I actually don't know the name of it. I think they call it lawn trimmings or something. So, but it just fit perfectly with the colors, and I wish I had more of it. I would have used it all over the place. But I only had a tiny bit, so I used it sparingly for my projects. I will keep on tinkering with this mechanism for a while. Here I put in a washer of cardstock to see if that will help to catch better with the string. Now I just need the brad to be open enough so the string can go underneath. Yeah, I fiddle around with it a lot. It's a bit annoying. I need to find a better method. The idea is solid, but the execution is less so. So. Some more fiddling. I'm still not happy about the situation here, so I figured maybe I can make something out of paper, and surprise, surprise, this star is far too small for the brads. I don't know what I was thinking. So I left it in here so you can see that when you craft on the fly, things happen, and not all of it is actually going to be worth your time. So I made a plan for these photos from these different places I visit, and on how to display them. I just had to figure out how many I had of one and the other arrangement. A few of them I'm going to leave out, just going to use the papers instead because there are people on them. So I don't want to show you faces of the people I spent this trip with. That's not very fair. So just going to mark the two photos so I know which is which, because one is landscape, the other is portrait. But the idea I had was that it was going to be like a set fold, or I didn't actually make a set fold in this. Yeah, I do. I make one later. But I haven't gone through how to make a set fold. But that was the thought I had. But then I saw how much stuff went with 3 of these. A lot of papers and folders, flyers, and it wasn't going to work. So I was going to need pockets for these. That was pretty obvious. So that's what we're gonna make. Pockets. To make the pocket, I take a leftover piece of cardstock and I take the biggest object I need to fit in the pocket, and I use it to measure how wide it needs to be. There's no need for making more pocket space than you actually need, so therefore I do it this way. Cut off the corners, so it's easier to get a nice finish when you glue it on. And just check that your item fits in the pocket before you glue it on. And now we're ready to glue. I figured it was best to mat the pictures on a piece of cardstock, just with some of the picture corners there. I don't glue down my pictures because I want to be able to remove them one day if I feel like it. I could have just glued them down, but this is my preferred way to deal with them. with a bit of movie magic, the picture is on. And I figured that my posters had been used and reused so many times now that I dared put them onto the actual pictures to hide the ones I needed to. I am struggling a bit with this map. Didn't want to fit in the pocket, and again it's one of those very long ones, but it went in the end. So I think it's time for a break, and then we'll scoot on over to part 4.